Hey, welcome to Fast Times with Darren. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all your great content coming out this week, next week, and every week. Don't forget to follow us, Probably Political, at ProbPolitical on Twitter. Alright, let me tell you a little about myself. I am Darren, obviously, of course. I am a member of the DSA, Libertarian Socialist Caucus. I'm also a member of the Socialist Rifle Association, and I am a card-carrying communist of the Communist Party USA. Okay, today we'll be going over worker strikes and a whole bunch of strikes, because May Day just happened, and we'll also be going over a few deaths that happened recently, or even a few months ago, which is very sad, very tragic. And we'll get to mutual aid efforts happening all over the country, which is amazingly great, and communities working together to actually improve situations happening during this pandemic. Okay, first up, we'll be talking about the rent strike that happened on May 1st. Basically, it was to cancel rent. Happened in a lot of cities from New York, Chicago, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Los Angeles, and a few other cities all over across the country. And some had great outcomes. Others just died quickly died like a burning down building, almost. Ironic. But yes, it's just when people come together, there's always going to be that chance of things not going well. But with strikes, it's a unification of people that can really push for demands that they need and demands that they want, that can help everybody out in the situation, especially tenants that right now kind of don't got a lot going for them. They cannot work. Some of them cannot work. Some of them have cut hours. Some of them are working overtime and cannot spend time with their families or stuff like that, because it's this weird thing that we got going on right now. And then you got people that do not like the government assistance, the unemployment. They don't like the people are dubbing it the Trump bucks or whatever, the short-term stimulus plan, which is $1,200, which basically pays for shit, doesn't pay fucking rent, barely pays for food. But let's get on to more strikes happening. But also, Rent 2020 is a great place to actually find tenant unions, and actually this is the best time to form tenant unions. It really is, because you got a whole bunch of people that just need stuff. They need help, and who is better to help somebody than each other? Also, big shout out to the Trader Joe's for forming a union. Kroger, who technically does have a union but needs work on their policies, and the Taco Bell unions being formed at Taco Bell franchises for safety of workers and for the protection of workers. I am a really big proponent of these unions, and we need to do something about right to work laws. We need to repeal them immediately. They prohibit the free contract of people between an employer and employees. It's a violation of freedom. It's a violation of business. It's a government violation that needs to be taken care of immediately. I mean, one of my favorite unions, actually, is the International Workers of the World Union, which is the most worldwide union with the utmost respect of all its members. It has been around for almost 100 years at this point, and its roots within America make it one of the most American patriotic things you could do for your peers, for your working mates, for everybody involved. It is the most civil thing you could do is join a union, and to have a more powerful, a more impactful society that can help us all. with growing wages, with better benefits, typically. And on average, it's a higher wage compared to non-union workers. On average, I mean, there's always going to be differences, but it's, whatever. But yeah, May Day specifically, starting in Chicago, we don't celebrate in the United States because, hey, we have Labor Day, right? A few months out. Stupidest fucking thing in the world. Labor Day, though, is not the same thing as, May 1st? The original Labor Day was May 1st. The act of forming unions, protecting the workers, protecting our own communities from parasitic, vulturistic capitalists. Alright, and let's get to the, murders. They're essentially murders. It's a sad thing happening, actually. First up is, I'm just going to go by hashtags, Justice for Mike. Happened in late April in Austin, Texas. Basically, this guy was accused of smoking weed, and wasn't found on him. Police showed up and stopped Mike, and apparently there's no weed found on him, but yet he was shot with a beanbag gun. Is a non-lethal, unquotes, non-lethal weapon. He got up and tried to escape, and he was repeatedly fired at for resisting arrest, essentially, even though they can't really arrest anybody at this point. And next up would be Justice for Ahmaud Aubery, which has been in the news recently. Happened in February 23rd, actually. We just finally arrested the two fucking murderers that killed the guy in cold blood for simply jogging down the street, and they pointed a rifle at him, and he went to grab the gun. I mean, who the fuck wouldn't, right? This is fucking really fucked up. I mean, one was, two men were Gregory and Travis McMichael, who were recently arrested over, the past week once a viral video spread. One was I think it was Gregory, was an ex-cop, and his son shot, the son was the one that shot Ahmaud Aubery, which is terrible. Kind of goes, so, yeah, that's a big one. And then we got Justice for Sean Reed, which happened. He was apparently born, or at least raised in Dallas, Texas. He died in Indianapolis May 6th, shot by a police officer after being followed by an unmarked police car for whatever reason. Still investigating that as currently going on. So, lots of things. So we got an ex-cop that went after somebody. We got two cops killing a person. It's just sad. I mean, obviously our fucking justice system is fucked up anyways, right? And what we need is cops and ex-cops killing people. This isn't about vigilante justice. This needs to be reform, criminal justice reform, on every level of system. When it comes to the point of do we need to change the people? Do we need to change the system? Deaths for Ahmaud, Mike, and Sean. Rest in peace, right? It's one of the worst things that could ever happen to you. You walk around, just get shot. Whatever. Life goes fast, right? Things happen, and 1 minute you're here, next another minute you're dead. Sucks. It sucks, Mark, goes out to them. It really does. For these murderers. That's what they are. They're murderers. And as you could probably tell, I don't really like cops too much. I don't really like too many. I don't like authority, and people can abuse that authority to do essentially whatever the fuck they want. Right? Pressure authority, do anything. Really fuck up your life. with little repercussions they even have. I mean, body cams don't do shit for you at this point. Like, seriously, cops, there's been videos of cops planting shit on people. And I mean, like, it's, hey, you can say only a few bad apples, right? But then you got cops that literally, they just stand there, watch. I mean, that's, if you were in a crime, that would be considered an accomplice to a crime. Because you're just watching it happen. And then, you got everything else going on for you. And then people, even retired, they have a mentality that some feel like they're above the law just because they wore a badge, just because, what, they have a gun? Nah. I mean, there should be justice for everybody, no matter skin color, no matter race, no matter sexual orientation, sexuality. There should be justice for all. And no one's above the law, you know? People were fucking, what was it? People were saying that Ahmaud? Am I saying that right? Ahmaud Aubery deserved it, or, you know, it's maybe their guy's right because he went into an unconstructed house and blah blah. And like, if you watch the video, he didn't do anything. He trespassed into an unconstructed house and shot like later on. Come on. And then, I mean, come on, I was a kid. I mean, I still do occasionally. Just walk into having a abandoned house, like an unconstructed house, or a currently being constructed on a house. Because, I don't know, maybe he was looking at it, because he might have wanted to own it one day. Who the fuck knows? Like, really? I mean, seriously, if I see someone go into a currently being constructed house, I would think, hey, they're probably working on it, it might be theirs, I have no, you know, it's nothing. And just because you see that, it doesn't give you the fucking right to go out and fucking kill somebody, or fucking chase somebody down with a fucking rifle. That's the most inconsiderate fucking thing you could ever fucking do. And I already know, I said fucking a lot. And I'm probably getting demonetized. Hey, but we aren't getting demonetized yet, so yay. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say, is that these fucking murders are finally at least behind bars, for as we know, and there's apparently, I think the judge said no bail currently. I'm cool with that. I'm actually really cool. But, these fucking pricks need to, I don't know, serve time. That's what I say. I'm not really into capital punishment in the first place, but, I mean, they killed somebody in broad daylight. They pointed a gun at somebody in broad daylight. Not on their property. Not on anything. Yeah. They're dumbasses. Okay, next topic, right? Let's get a little better on this. Let's do something a little bit more, what can I say? A little more entertaining, right? Okay, we're going to start talking about co-ops. No, I'm kidding. Just joking. We're going to talk about mutual aid projects, which, I mean, some co-ops do it, but mostly just mutual aid projects, kind of on the at least national scale, maybe international scale a little bit. So first up, we have 3D printing of masks happening on various, and actually, one of the organs which is the Socialist Rifle Association, which has chapters all over the country. They're actually doing a pretty good job at this, which is providing 3D printed masks sewn on masks, like hand-sewn masks, that are provided throughout the community and other from nonprofits and from other mutual aid projects, giving directly to the community, that's what mutual aid is all about, is the community, helping out the community, not necessarily not profit. It's basically people working together. That's essentially what it is. People needing resources and someone else providing it, typically for free or at a very, very low charge. Typically, it's just, we see that there is a lack of government assistance, or lack of government response time, or even like a need that maybe a business might be providing, but it's corrupt or not necessarily needed. That could be even better handled by a local community helping out each other. I mean, who's going to help? Who knows the community better? The people actually fucking in it to help each other. You think you think Amazon's really going to help a community? Let's be honest. They don't. But, the people that actually live there and actually, have friends and family there, they probably will help the community a little bit better by providing masks, by providing food, by providing things that maybe a non-profit or a corporation cannot do, or not too timely, or not too efficiently. It's time we take shit into our own hands and have some responsibility for ourselves. Just going back to the masks, just come back to the 3D printed mask, you have to understand that at this point anyone can make a 3D printed mask if you have a 3D printer, and they're starting to become more mainstream as the price kind of goes a little lower, and as the materials, are still not cheap, but they're becoming more available to mass people in universities, community centers, and stuff like that. And people can start printing, like our own supplies for us. And you have to go, to rely on a foreign government or our own government to provide for these necessities. We can just do it ourselves worldwide. There's, for example, there's plenty of YouTubers I can think of, but there's a whole network of 3D printed masks that are being shipped out all across the country from people like you and me, the very simple people that might have one or two printers, or 1, 2, 3D printers, just sending out masks, sending out whatever supplies, making masks for people in need. And you gotta appreciate that. We could do this on a global, even world scale, not even just necessarily a non-profit. We do it in mutual aid communities all around. We need a mutual aid hub to work together and to localize distribution and localize problem solving on a community level, and not rely on big business or fucking politician in DC that doesn't give a fucking crap about us. Look at your world right now. You think it gives a shit about us? Also, I'm gonna give a shout out to Black Socialists in America and Project Jackson, which both are amazing organizations, and one is trying to do a lot for the socialist community and for just the leftist community in general. I love the truth also. And they're great. They're trying to do media apps for mutual aid projects. And Project Jackson is basically a prime example of a co-op and mutual aid for the Jackson, Mississippi. And it's working well. They have grants, they have donors, so it's going. They're helping the community. They're building community centers for their people, and you gotta appreciate that. You gotta understand that these things are just there when you localize a problem, and you can pressure, or at least try to do your best to fix a problem without just relying on heavy donors or heavy things like some outside source, because you're not going to get that all the time. You're going to have to find ways to provide for yourself. And this is why I'm a big proponent of actual self-sustaining farming, and basically becoming independent, at least in a community sense, localizing almost everything to the point of the community can take care of itself to some extent. I'm still a proponent of Medicare for All and other things, Green New Deal, stuff like that. But I do think the community is a big solution in decentralizing power that does not pertain to us. As I'm wrapping up here on everything, remember, don't forget to like and subscribe. It'd be great. And then you can also follow me on Twitter. Me on Twitter at Darren Navarez. Probably link somewhere. And the probably political at props political on Twitter. And what else am I going to say? I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, hey, like and subscribe, right? And you could also catch me here, I think, just about every week. Pretty much. See you again, or I guess, join a union, do mutual aid, don't kill people. Very simple rules you could follow right now. Let's try to get, like, I don't know, let's try to get 100 views and 10 likes on this video. That'd be nice, actually. 10 likes, 100 views, really doable, really, 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 really fun. I think that's it. See you around, right? See you next week.